On today's video, we are gonna make a Whopper ice cream, which is kind of close to Maltesers. So, nice and easy, let's get straight on it. The North American version of this, they are similar, but they're not the same. These are much lighter, these are a bit denser. There's a much stronger malt flavor for Whoppers than there are for Maltesers. And the chocolate is infinitely different, as you'd expect. The chocolate from Maltesers is a European style chocolate, so much nicer than the turd that this is covered in. But I prefer Whoppers over Maltesers. My wife prefers Maltesers over Whoppers. But today, as I'm the one making it, it's Whoppers. Now, we can't actually do anything with these in ice cream per se. We can just drop them in, but they do go quite hard. We can't take the chocolate off, it's just too time consuming. And even if you could, the stuff inside just dissipates in liquid. So as the moisture or water from your ice cream seeps in, it just kind of melts down into nothing. It'd be exactly the same for these. But what we can do is take that flavor. So we're gonna use dry malt extract. It's super easy to buy from any kind of brewing shop, Amazon, anything like that, easy. If you're in Europe, then just use malt extract, liquid malt. You can buy that in pretty much any supermarket. It's super easy, so let's just get on and make it. What are we gonna need? For this recipe, you are gonna need 250 grams of whole milk, 500 grams of heavy cream. You can either use 3 large egg yolks or 1.2 grams of stabilizer, 150 grams of sugar, and we're gonna add in 5 grams of vanilla extract, 50 grams of our malt powder, and a pinch of salt. So, cup measurements on the screen just then for all of you, recipe in the description. Let's get everything weighed out. I don't know what this was all about. The dry malt extract, been in there for over a year. You get these little hard lumps. It's actually not a problem because they'll just dissipate as we warm this up. So don't kind of stress about it. As you can see, you probably can't see to be fair, there's some really big ass lumps in there. It just breaks apart. But malt is just another type of sugar. It was actually sold as a health food, back in the 50s, maybe even the 60s as well. I love malt flavor. So with that said, everything is going in our pan. There's our milk, our cream. I want all of that in there. There's our sugar with our malt powder, malt extract. If you want to use like malted milk powder, which I know is very popular in the US, you absolutely can use that. You would probably just sub it 1-to-1 for the malt powder. It won't be as strong a flavor. That is it. This is going to go on the heat. We've used a stabilizer in this rather than egg yolks. So if you're using egg yolks, put them all in now and heat it up to 75°C, which is this in Fahrenheit. As we're using a stabilizer, I need to heat this up to 85°C, which is this in Fahrenheit. Then we're going to get it off the heat. 85°C always seems like, for those people that are just starting on ice cream and you're heating up a base because you're using a stabilizer or using obviously egg yolks, always seems like you're getting quite high. And there's a lot of people that boil dairy to make ice cream. It's a very common practice in Asia. Honestly, I don't know why. Because it bitters the taste of the dairy. Dairy denatures from 80 to 85°C. So there's absolutely no need to boil it. And denaturing just means how the proteins interact changes. So I'll go into more detail on this subject in another video, but it just means that you can create a better mouthfeel by heating up to the 80-85 degree range. You can do that with egg yolks too, just be careful. We've got a glorious, silky, smooth, malted milk base. And I'm just gonna wait for this to cool down for 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna drop in my vanilla extract. You can use between 5 and 10 grams, so 1 to 2 teaspoons of this. In we go. 1, 2. I went with 2. Blow the expense. That's now gonna go in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours. What time is it now? It's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I've just realized I have my sunglasses on my head the entire time so far, so 5 points if you spotted it. 10 o'clock now, I'm going to put this in for at least 4 hours, get this chilled down to refrigerator temperature, and then I'll get churning. So after completely chilling down in the refrigerator, I'm going to take it out and get it mixed back up. There's quite a heavy skin on top, but it tastes delicious. Then it's time to pour into our pre-chilled ice cream machine. If you're going to use the Ninja Creamy, then put it straight in, put it in the freezer. Whilst it's churning, we're going to take our chocolate. This is a 55% chocolate from Belcolade, which actually tastes disgusting, but it works in this recipe as well. We're going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of deodorized coconut oil. This is refined coconut oil, and heat it up in stages until it becomes super nice and liquid. Then we're going to start adding it into our ice cream as a stracciatella right at the end of the churn, before finally dishing it up into our containers. We had good overrun on this, so let's get this dished up and see what the whole thing looks like. Here we go, out the freezer. It's been in that overnight, and it's got a really good dishing texture and consistency, scooped really nicely. It looks delicious, super creamy. Looking forward to this. Let's go. There we go, our Whopper ice cream. Just to top that off, one on top, one for me. The North American version of a Malteser. Let's see what this result is like. It's delicious. That malt flavor really punches through at the start, and I find that a lot of malted ice creams just aren't strong enough in flavor. This one is perfect. It's not overpoweringly strong, but it's strong enough to make that flavor come through really early. The chocolate shards, the stracciatella style chocolate, is beautiful, lovely texture, perfect scooping consistency as well. You saw every time I take an ice cream out of the freezer, they don't sit here for hours on end whilst they get soft enough to scoop. I like my ice creams to be scooped straight out of the freezer, so all my recipes are adjusted to do that. And yeah, this is delicious. I'm going to eat this whole thing. It is 9:30 in the morning. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next week.